A cap-and-trade system for greenhouse gas emissions would follow the success of the federal acid rain cap-and-trade program. The acid rain program slashed harmful sulfur dioxide emissions in the northeastern U.S. at a fraction of a cost that had been predicted under more traditional command and control regulation. And so similarly, the PUC and the Energy Commission believe that a market-based mechanism like cap and trade would cut greenhouse gas emissions at the lowest possible cost. And that will be good for our environment, that will be good for our economy, which we need to keep going, for consumers, including those who are less well off. Now, an important issue you might hear if you're following this debate is how we distribute emissions allowances under the cap-and-trade system. This is an issue that is squarely before the PUC right now. I understand that many of the municipal utilities in Southern California have relied heavily on coal-fired generation for their power. This includes, for example, LADWP and the City of Riverside's utility. Some methods for distributing allowances would have a disproportionate impact on the customers of those utilities. I believe we need a system that is fair to all consumers, and most importantly, that will support our mutual objective, which is to cut greenhouse gas emissions. So I wanted to say that this is not a time for finger-pointing, but it is a time for collaboration for the good of all Californians. I want the investor-owned utilities and the public-owned utilities to work together to find a common solution for our common goal. So let's keep our eye on the goal and let's not fight. I wanted to add just a quick word about the Climate Change Institute because there was some discussion in the earlier session about research and about green jobs. At our last commission meeting, the California PUC voted out really a groundbreaking decision to form a Climate Change Institute in California. And we're taking $600 million over 10 years, so it's $60 million a year, funded by electric ratepayers to establish a hub in California where we will be fostering cutting-edge research and development to attack this issue of climate change. And when we're doing this R&D, we have directed the Institute to focus on technology that can be brought to the marketplace so that we can actively attack the issue of climate change. So, for example, that might be alternative fuel, that might be renewable energy. You know, there is no limit to what it could be, but it's not about what is the cause of climate change. That's not what this is for. This is for how do we solve climate change with actual technology that we can use in the next short term or long term. We have asked that the Institute find matching money for this so that it'll be a catalyst for more money. And so I would encourage the public companies to partner with the Climate Change Institute. And I wanted to add one more thing about the green job aspect. One piece of the decision emphasizes the recognition that we do need to foster green jobs to go along with this green economy that we're creating out of necessity, really. And so we are going to be getting a report back in about 6 months from the formation of the Institute to recommend to the Commission how grants could be made by the Climate Change Institute on how to make sure that we are training our workforce in California to be ready for green jobs. And so I'm looking forward to seeing that report and supporting this important initiative. In conclusion, sadly, there's no silver bullet that's going to eliminate our dependence on fossil fuels, at least in the short term. But the good news is that you live in a state where California is not afraid to take bold leadership and bold actions to get us closer to our goal. I wanted to commend the Green Valley Initiative on their efforts, and that's part of why I came down here, was to tell them what a great job they were doing and how appreciative we were at the PUC for their efforts. My personal plea to you is to do everything that you can to help save our planet. And the reason I say that is it's really not for us, it's for the next generations that are coming after us. Inaction means more global warming and the certainty of the negative environmental impacts that the Lieutenant Governor already talked about. I wanted to encourage you to think about your role in this effort. How can you as a citizen change your habits in your personal life and your family to have a smaller carbon footprint? How can you as an employee of your company make a difference by encouraging your company to take more steps in their business to do the right thing to reduce their carbon footprint? And so I wanted to encourage you to be a catalyst for these kinds of earth-friendly lifestyles so that together we can solve this very overwhelming but critically important and urgent problem. Thank you for having me, and I would be very happy to entertain questions.